Do you remember when Gary was born, little Gary?
Yes, indeed. It's always a major production when a baby's born with us because we all at the hospital, we need a suite, okay? Because they know when the Hopkins and the Grays get together, it's going to be something.
He was the best little brother, always. He was the cutest little fat little thing.
He was my little heartthrob because carried him on my hip, and I never will forget, he had this infectious smile, and his smile was really a $1,000,000 smile. When you looked at him, it just made your whole world right.
LG and I had matching big wheels. He had an Incredible Hulk, and I had a Rainbow Bright big wheel. So we would always ride our big wheels around the neighborhood. Every time we were out of school for snow, we would have like 3-4 pair of socks on our hands. We would take the trash can lids and slide down the hill. We did it old school. We had a great time, and every single time he would come back in the house crying with his nose running. My fingers are cold.
I grew up with Gary. I lived across the street from him. It wasn't hard to meet him. I walked outside one day. He was outside across the street playing, and I didn't know anybody. We had like a couple of other neighbors. And he pretty much just walked across the street. What's your name? What's up? We about to go do this. And it was pretty much a friendship after that. It wasn't hard. He made it easy. So I didn't have to go look for nobody to be friends with. The minute he saw me, he was like, you live here, you with us now. That was it.
The strongest memories would be around the neighborhoods, because he always pulled everybody together.
Hold on. Catch me, Joe. That's a home run right there.
Had all his friends, was coming over. Our house was like the safe haven. He was the safe haven. They wanted to be what he was.
We had a nice sized group of friends or whatever, but most of those friends met each other through dealing with him. So it was like he made a new friend and whatever, because he was a people person. He rapped, he did all these other things. He knew a lot of people, and there was a lot of different kind of people. It wasn't always one person in this type of way or whatever. He would meet different people and bring them together, and then next thing you know, we got a whole group of friends, but these people might not have met if they didn't know him. So
He was the glue that held all the friends together. Because all his friends were like different, but they all, you know what I'm saying? When he was around, that's what held it together.
Man, you better watch it, man.
So whenever he came outside, everybody was around. When he wasn't allowed outside, everybody went their own way. So.
Like, he was just so full of life, And he just made, his energy just made everybody happy. And you couldn't stay mad at him for too long, because he wouldn't let you.
Get the broom. Want me to slap him?
I'm sorry, LG.
But me and him, we had a dilemma all the time.
Like I said, he was super playful, but he didn't play as well. My nephew sometimes a little mischievous.
He's like, why are you in my room? Get out, and all that, screaming at me and all that. But I used to still go in there all the time, because I just wanted to be around him.
He roughed him up a little bit, but it was all in love. It was all in love.
I try to time it, and I always used to get caught. And my grandmother used to always be like, stop hitting that boy. But he wouldn't listen.
The time that he got on my nerves the most, it was a bunch of them.
So he would do things to annoy me. He would say, oh, do you want that? And stick his finger in my food. You don't want that, you don't want that. And I used to be like, oh my God, why would you do that? And he know I feel in my food, so I would actually cry. It was so sad.
Nobody would have anything bad to say about him, other than, like I said, during this little obnoxious period when, boys go through their little, stage, whatever, they probably would say that much, whatever. Or probably some little girls, at school, because how boys are, they go through their little stupid, obnoxious phase, whatever.
And just playing around. I ain't took a shower in 4 days, and all in my face. Oh, yeah, my breath stink, though, my breath stink, though. Like, he would play like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you are so gross. And every time he get by my mom's face, he would like make the little sound all the time. And he would do it all the time, you know, when he was around my mom.
Little Gary, he would play pranks on you. Yes, he would. And his daddy would be in on it. And so that was the funniest thing.
I used to have a thing where I didn't like feet to touch me. Feet could not touch me under any circumstances. And one time, him and my dad cornered me in the bathroom and put their feet all over me. I cried. And they thought it was the funniest thing in the world. He thought everything was funny. Everything was funny. Everything was a joke. To him. Drove me crazy.
He was, you know, the jokester in school, but he took school seriously. So when a lot of us would, you know, hook school or whatever, you couldn't find him because he's in class. At least 2 times I wanted to hook school, and he wouldn't let me. Yeah, he really literally banged on my door early in the morning and made me get up and go to school. Yeah.
So he was a friend, not a boyfriend?
No, he never was my boyfriend. He was my very, very best friend. But some people didn't understand the relationship we had. We had that relationship that need explanation. We argued about something. I honestly can't remember, and I probably chose to block it because it probably was a really bad thing to think about. But I remember he snuck out of the house, in the middle of the night. He had took her car and came to my house. And it was the wee hours of the morning. And I opened up the door, and he was there, and he just was like, I can't believe it, you so dead. I mean, like, going off. And I was like, well, I don't care. You know, we like going back and forth, a whole full-blown argument. And when I tell you I was mad, we had like pictures together. Nobody probably ever saw these pictures, but we had pictures. I was like, I don't love you no more. Like, I was tearing up the pictures and everything. That was probably the biggest blow up we ever had. And then that next morning I was like, oh my God, I tore all these pictures up. And I was trying to put them back together with tape. He was like, did you tape the pictures back together? I was like, oh. Like, it was so awful with my mother. And in the morning, she was like, was somebody here? I was like, no, ain't nobody come over. I said, I just probably had a bad dream or something. And then I was like, no, I was watching TV. She was like, oh, it sounded like you was arguing with somebody. I was like, no, that was the TV. We did some pretty bad things, the 3 of us. I can give you one incident. It was a weekend. We stayed over our grandmother's house, and we were not supposed to be out late, but of course we were. And we were just, you know, hanging out, doing stuff we wasn't supposed to be doing. And it got to a point with me, Tasha, and LG, and we were like, y'all, it's time to go home. We gotta go inside grandma's house. Like, what we gonna do? And LG, being his creative self, he was like, we're gonna climb through the window. And I was like, but what if it's locked? He was like, it ain't gonna be locked, it ain't gonna be locked. And so we was like, we're not knocking on the front door. So we didn't knock on the door, so we walked around to the side. And as you know, on the side of houses, they have like the water meter reader. And so we were like, look, I'm gonna climb up on this water meter, and I'm gonna see if the window is unlocked. And lo and behold, it was unlocked. He was like, yes. So climbed up, and he pushed me up in the window. So I get in the window and I go in. And so my thing was, I'm gonna go open the front door. So I open the front door, and Tasha and LG, they're right there, like, all right, come on, let's get in. Lo and behold, my uncle is in the kitchen, and we just freeze, like, and I'm like, y'all don't say nothing, because all we gotta do is walk upstairs, and we're gonna be fine. And so we just freeze, so he can't see us, and it worked. We were just there, and it worked. We was like, okay, we're gonna go upstairs. So we went upstairs and, you know, went to sleep, and woke up the next day and was just like, we did it. We didn't get caught. We gonna do this again. And that was our thing. But we got caught eventually, you know.
What happened when you got caught?
Windows were locked.
This party was dead. Everybody is sitting down. So Manny and Gary had the idea that they were gonna vogue, right? Yeah. And they actually did. They vogued just to get the people, you know, spirits up. And it was funny because we were all laughing. Me, our friends, everybody laughing. And he's walking around telling people he don't know nothing about, get up, come on, let's party, come on, everybody dance. And before you knew it, all the seats are empty, everybody on the dance floor having a good time.
And we have such a large family, so when we got together, it was a party. And let me say, LG, as we affectionately called him, and his father, Big Gary, oh my goodness, when they get together and the music break out, they would get out the props and the antics, and they would get the cutting up, and we would be in stitches. I mean, we would be in the family room in the basement, and we'd be all on the floor laughing.
Tasha and I would either put on like a dance routine for the family and things of that nature, but he would be the one that would come down and just like blow us out the water because he was that silly and that fun.
They did an impression, I never will forget, oh my God. They did an impression of James Brown, and he came out, LG came out, and they put the coat over him.
I was like, hey, you know what, you're gonna get this cape, you're gonna put this on, and you're gonna come out, and you're gonna throw it on, and then I'm gonna come behind you, I'm gonna put it on top of you like James Brown.
And he threw it off and got down on the floor like that, and we was hooting. It was so hilarious.
So I definitely remember that day. Yeah, those were some fun times. I'm glad we went through them because it's memories that will always stay in my head.
But he was awesome with my daughter. My daughter loved her uncle. He called her Little Mia because he had her rapping. She raps and writes today because of him.
So he would do the spoken word and he could sing.
You know, he had such a personality that it was like, I can't even imagine what he would be doing right now. Like, it would be awesome. The sky was the limit with him because he had such a passion for it. So
innately, he was just a natural. He was just a natural.